the western sky comes Sky King. As we say here in the West.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Classic Television Smackdown. We're back. We're back, everyone, after a 2-week hiatus. Here with Mark B. Lee and Jerome Connor. How y'all doing tonight? Let's start with Jerome since Mark is finishing his meal. How you doing, Jerome? I can't hear ya. Hold on.
He muted himself again.
I'm sorry. There we go. I had to cough earlier. I'm doing fine. It was a long couple of weeks. Let's just say work was not very fun. As a matter of fact, it's turned toxic.
Oh no!
And I'm on a job hunt. So those of you watching, if you have a LinkedIn account, feel free to LinkedIn to me. And I'm looking for a new job.
Well, that's great. Well, tell us about Gwen. You got good news about Gwen.
Well, Gwen has started the 4th grade. Okay, Gwen is 9 years old and in the 4th grade, and I got to tell you, it's a scary thing watching your kid grow up.
I can't believe she's already in the 4th grade. That's amazing.
I know. It's amazing, and what's even more amazing is you find out through things that come home from other kids what your daughter, about your daughter. Like, I didn't realize that my daughter was the class clown and considered the class reader. She reads constantly in school, which you couldn't tell it by at home. She's, just all sorts of new things we're finding out about her that she's apparently kept hidden from her parents. All good stuff, by the way, not bad stuff.
Well, that's really great.
Yeah.
Now, how about you, Mark? I know you got your mouth full, but you just had a very long, amazing weekend, right? You went to Dragon.
Yeah, he wore a safety vest at his last of.
Mark is he was at Dragon Con over the weekend, 4 days. He, doing his con
5 days.
5 days. Sorry, I keep forgetting you guys you run Monday too. So Mark is a little bit exhausted. He's kind of wiped out. So
that's why he's eating the steak
tonight. We've got technical issues. He's got technical issues. He still has his laptop still.
Well, I'm not lagging, so that's a good thing, I guess, for now.
That is good. So we're hoping he stays with us tonight and doesn't get bumped off because we've got a really interesting show tonight. So
hey, real quick, if anybody gets dropped or if we get dropped, if we get kicked off because of the content that we're about to show, make sure you find us on Twitch. Go to our YouTube channel. And and the other Facebook channels that we list these shows on. So just find us in other ways if we're not. So you got an interesting topic this morning. Enough about Dragon Con. I'm glad you guys enjoyed my description of it.
We live vicariously through you, Mark.
Yeah, Mark, come on. We got to, you got a little more exciting.
Shatner and I had a sit down for about 20 minutes. Had a discussion with him. As you guys know, the announcement of D. Kelly joining the Enterprise flight. My intention was to go to Dragon Con and pick up a couple more. Walter Koenig had to cancel because he picked up COVID, but I sent an email out to him and waiting for his response. Haven't gotten it yet. He's usually pretty quick about that. But I'm assuming that he's down. Other than that, my legs and especially my thighs are burning. They are. I need to get one of those pedometers and hook it to my body to see exactly how many miles I walked on that freaking show.
I have one on my phone.
Yep, I need to do that. I'm getting a belly. My blood sugar has been at incredible levels. One good example, not good example, this is a bad example. I was at Dragon Con. Sunday morning, I woke up in bed. Of course, that's where most people wake up, thank God.
I was going to say,
But this woke me up.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and I immediately got up and tested my blood. My blood I'm on a miracle drug, insulin right now, which is incredible. But waking up like this, and I ran to test my blood, and I was down to 53. And nothing was open. This was about 5:30 in the morning. I said, I need food. I need food bad. I couldn't find any place that was open. I had to wait till actually 6:30 for me to go to this coffee joint. Had a sausage, egg, and cheese muffin or bagel, whatever they cook, and coffee, which I don't drink coffee, but I knew that would help. And I had a blueberry muffin. Gobbled all that, took it all back to my room, my hotel room, gobbled all that down, tested my blood. Usually you're supposed to wait 2 hours, but I said, I got to test it. So I think I waited maybe about 30 minutes, tested it, and it was up to 181. So at least it knocked me out of, the danger zone. But that was a scary moment. It's a miracle drug. But the problem in all of that, and this is what I didn't start out telling you guys, I did not have a lick of food in my body for 24 straight hours.
And what did I tell you before you left on your trip, Mark? I told you to make sure you ate.
You said, Mark, you don't need no damn food. Food is after you. Don't eat food. What has food ever done for me? So I didn't eat. I took your advice, Rose. 24 hours I had no food, and that's what happened. Yep. And I didn't take any insulin that morning when I woke up with the shakes because it's like, nope, don't want to go down any further than what it is.
Nope.
So that was my weekend other than the convention, yada, yada, yada. Let's have a great show, Rose.
All right. So tonight, I wanted to do something with regard to Tony Dow, who's just, he was an American legend. He passed away on July 31st. We've lost so many people this summer. It's just been so sad. But Tony Dow, as many of you should know, it was the co-star of Leave It to Beaver. He was Wally.
Oh,
the brother to the Beaver.
Right.
So we're gonna do a little bit of we're gonna talk about the Leave It to Beaver series, but with a main emphasis on Tony Dow tonight. So I hope that everybody enjoys that. And so there we go. They were so cute, and I got some cool interviews and all this kind of stuff. So
wait a minute, don't press anything yet. I'm trying to get your label off. I know you're gonna start videos. Okay, now you can go with the cuteness.
There we go.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So that I believe that was from the first season of Leave It to Beaver.
They weren't too bad looking white kids.
Well, Leave It to Beaver started in 1957, and it ran 6 seasons till 1963. And believe it or not, television was a lot different back then. 6 seasons now will probably get you about maybe 85 episodes. Back then, it was a whopping 234 episodes.
Oh, good God.
This show never left the air. It has never, ever left. It's always been playing somewhere, everywhere. And it's considered the longest running sitcom ever because it never stopped airing. So tonight we're going to be doing clips from Leave It to Beaver, and we're going to talk about the later on episodes of Leave It to Beaver. Well, it's not called Leave It to Beaver. But then we're also going to do some interviews with Tony Dow. So I hope you all enjoy it. We're going to start off with something really cute that I found. It is from MeTV. When MeTV, I think, was first starting to get on the air, they did this really cute little...
Oh, you still there? Hello?
Uh-oh, I think she locked up.
You still here, Jerome?
Yes, I am. I am still here.
Wally, are you alone?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, sure.
This is the Beaver in the future.
Okay.
Many years from now, you guys will be on MeTV. Got it?
Yeah, fine.
Don't tell young Beaver that I called. It may freak him out and stuff.
Gotcha.
Watch me
And watch me, future Wally.
on Leave It to Beaver.
Who is that, Wally? Just somebody that called up.
Weekday mornings at 8, 7 Central.
On MeTV.
But who was the guy that called you up? How would I know? So long ago, I forget.
So
It's amazing how you witness their voices changing as they got older. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you also, it's fun watching Wally go from a guy to suddenly discovering girls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So did you? Leave It To Beaver was way before both of your times. I take it. So
Whoa! What'd you just say?
Was it on when you were born, Mark?
Yes, it was, but you didn't have to emphasize it. Damn it!
Did you watch it? Did you watch it when it was on live?
Of course, everybody watched Leave It to Beaver. Man, I wanted to punch Eddie Haskell. Lumpy was a freaking wimp, you know. But yeah, everybody watched it. I loved it.
And Jerome, did you ever watch any Leave It to Beaver much?
Yeah, I watched for a while there back in the 70s when that whole 1950s craze hit, you know, with Happy Days and everything else. Some of the UHF independent channels would run all those classic shows, Leave It to Beaver, Father Knows Best, you know, that all of those.
Yeah. By the way, Rose, I wasn't born yet, just so we emphasize that fact that you asked me, did I watch it when it was on?
Did you watch it later on? Did you watch it when it was on
in reruns? Everyone my age watched the reruns. Nobody was alive, you know?
Yeah, I watched it in reruns also on the independent UHF channels we had up here. And I watched it for a while, but after a while, it I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It's pretty much the same story week after week, you know? Yeah. And after a while, you kind of got bored with it, you know?
I agree. I did too. It was one of the boringest TV shows I think on back then. So, yeah.
It's still on the air now. But you know what? There's a really good interview that I found. The great thing about Leave It to Beaver is these two guys, you could see them growing up through the years after the show was off because it was they were always around. So I found this really cool interview from 1983 that I'm going to share part of with you guys.
That would have been what, 30 years after the show?
Yeah, they're about
28.
20. So, yeah. There we go. 1957. Right. And ran till 1963. Mm-hmm. Was it all in black and white? Was it all shot in black and white?
All half-hour black and white film.
Why do you think recently it's become a cult? It's become a classic that people are looking at it now differently than we looked at it then?
Well, I don't know if it's so recent. As a matter of fact, as soon as it went off prime time, it started showing 3 and 4 times a day. And in many areas, it still does that. So it's just, I think it's the quality of the show. The writing was so good. Joe Conley and Bob Mosier, the original writers, were excellent. The situations are believable because they're from real life. It's not really fluff. Some of it, tends to be a little more of a situation comedy than some of the other shows that were on at that time. And I think people just really appreciate and like it.
But I really thought it was so syrupy. So syrupy.
Well, go back and watch it again. Really, go back and watch, and especially the first year and a half, 2 years, or even the first 3 years show. And watch for the subtleties, because what happens is, mom's in her high heels and she's got her pearls on and she's vacuuming. That's a little unrealistic. Dad comes home and he's always got a tie on, he wears it to the dinner table. Now that's not unrealistic necessarily, because, for example, Joe Conley, who was a writer, always wore a tie. I never saw him without a tie. Barbara Billingsley's husband, who is just recently deceased, I never saw him without a tie. And
he forgot his name.
So there are people that are very formal that have that kind of. But if you look into the stories and you look at the subtleties and you look at the things that the writers did and the things that the directors did, it's an incredibly good show. I mean.
So you see there where Tony Dow was like kind of defending the syrupy comment, and I thought that was kind of interesting coming from him on that.
Let's not kid ourselves. The late 1950s, early 60s was different than the 1980s, than the 2022s. Okay, what they considered good writing and positive stuff was, what it was. Today, we consider it syrupy due to our culture, and I think that that's something that, we have to accept, that it was good writing and it was a good show then. Today, we consider it syrupy, hokey, whatever, because our culture has changed in almost 50 odd years.
But there's still people watching it, it's still on.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can still watch it, and it can still be syrupy and saccharine sweet, and still enjoy it. Come on, I watch some really old shows that I enjoy that people would say the same thing about.
Yeah, I think maybe the reason why it stays on is maybe it's that childhood, that sense of childhood. And I think that show really brought that about, and about, coming of age, later on in the later years.
I mean, well, look at what happens in the show. Okay, you got the Beaver, who's got what, 3rd, 4th grade when it starts, thereabouts, maybe younger.
Yeah, I think he was 7. I think he said he was 7 when he.
Okay, so he's 7 years old. That puts him in 1st grade. Okay, he goes and walks to school. Nobody walks with him, like a parent or whatever. He's walking down the street. It's the come home when the street lights come on. You couldn't do that today.
Oh, no. And I have something else you wouldn't do today, or probably wouldn't be caught dead doing. So I'm gonna show a famous clip of Wally.
And she's frozen again, I think.
Yeah. Rose, if you can hear us, you've been freezing up, and it always happens when you click on the video file. Did you hear it?
You want something? Yes, son. Dinner will be ready in 15 minutes.
Yeah. You see what I mean? Isn't that terrible?
It is. Light difference in the way you're combing your hair?
Gee, Dad, I didn't think you'd notice.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine?
That looks like the precursor to the flock of seagulls guy.
I think they used to call that the jelly roll. Is that?
I don't know.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what my dad said it was.
Hang on a minute.
I was wondering what freaking freight train went through the middle of his head.
Looked like he shaved, like they, when they bumped you, when they put the shaver across here,
That poor kid. He's got to go to school looking like that.
Yeah, and that was season 2, episode 34. Can you imagine having 30? And that I don't even think they were done at that.
Yeah, that's the jelly roll.
1959. Yeah. 1959.
Well, that's really interesting.
Maybe caught dead doing that now.
You said that, Rose. You said that was season 2. Sorry about that. I'm fiddling.
That's a season 2 episode.
Well, his voice really changed from season 1 to season 2. Then
I think he started off the show. I think he might have been 12, and so he was just hitting puberty.
Yeah,
so, they have that summer that you used to watch these sitcoms and they'd come back over the summer and they'd be like look totally different.
Oh yeah. It's called a hiatus.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I also got some more clips. It's like the best of from MeTV of Wally. So I'm just gonna run that too.
Okay.
A second.
So we got.
Well, here it is.
Hugh Beaumont has some great facial expressions.
Well, Wally, don't turn that off. I want to teach you how to turn around.
Oh, well, that might be Eddie Haskellin. Well, if he saw me dancing with you, well, he'd blab it to all the other guys.
Oh, well, excuse me. I didn't know dancing with your mother was such a serious offense.
Oh, sure,
it is.
June. That's almost as bad as getting kissed by your father in public, isn't it, Wally?
Oh, gee, no, Dad, that's worse.
That's true.
So yeah, it kind of reminds me of kind of like a comic strip, that show.
It's got a very Archie feel to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
So Wally was Tony Dow was actually he was an athlete, in real life. Jerry Mathers used to look up to him because of the way that he could, he was just a big sport kind of guy. And I think what I've got now for you. Oh yes, both Jerry Mathers and Tony Dow, they used to get some commercial deals, and so I have a couple of things I wanted to show you about it. The first one is they did a big commercial for introducing the 1960 Fords. So this is towards the end of the run of the series, and I just want to share some of that with you guys. So
okay. Hey, before you do that, okay, you remember every time you press the video clip, you freeze. Like, never mind. Look at that, Jerome.
Yeah. Okay, what were you going to say? You were going to say before I get that clip?
Okay, which you were in it. I said every time you press the video clip, you freeze. Jerome and I are live. You are frozen solid until the clip plays. Okay, so just make sure after you press it, don't say anything else.
Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me know.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Yep, there she goes. She's pressed the button, and as we wait for the button to unpress and the video to roll,
it's any second now.
Yeah, I feel like we should be having a countdown.
Any second now. Oh, she's back.
Yeah. New Ford. 2 whole truckloads of them.
Real neat, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, Wally, how'd they get him off of there?
Well, you see, Beaver, what they do is they got this, oh, heck, I don't know.
Well, I don't know either. Let's go find out, huh, Wally? Which one's a Ford, Wally?
They're all Fords.
How come they got so many different kinds?
Well, why not? There's all kinds of different people, and different kinds need different Fords. Understand?
Yeah, I guess so. But boy, they sure are neat.
What was that supposed to be a commercial?
Yes. It actually runs like a real long time. It's like almost 4 minutes.
Wow. How about that?
They've got this whole part where the guy explains to Wally and the Beaver about all the new Fords coming out for 1960s.
Yeah, the 1960s Fords, that year, the cars looked ugly. There was no sweetness to them.
I don't know. I like all old cars. I think they're gorgeous. But so that was in the 1960s, and then in 1983, when the show was still not back on the, the show was still running, but they were still well known. They did this commercial, so I wanted to share this one with you guys.
Uh-oh, why am I suddenly afraid?
Any second now.
Yep, she's locked up.
Let's do this to Rose since she's frozen.
You've earned a special place on the front of America's favorite cereal. New down to a familiar face. The face of a Kellogg cornflake lover. The face of America too. When you sit down to America's favorite cereal, the face on the package is you. So sit down to a familiar face.
Mortgage payment.
No,
I thought that was really cute when I came across that, though.
In the case of Tony Dow, I think that was an alimony check because he got divorced right around that time.
Interesting.
So everybody who's watching tonight, when you get a chance, why don't you pop up what maybe one of your favorite episodes was of Leave It to Beaver, and we'll put it on the screen.
That's if they can remember.
But you can watch it on MeTV anytime.
Yeah.
I think they're still showing it in the morning, aren't they?
Yep, they do. They are.
Is right after My Three Sons or something?
About hour after that.
I don't know. I'm at work by that point.
Yeah, well, I leave the house at 7, but I watch My Three Sons every morning. By the way, Katie brought the triplets home today.
Oh yes, I saw your post.
Yeah, my vague post.
Like what? Ooh.
Yeah, I was wondering who are the smart people out there who's gonna get what I'm talking about.
Did anybody get it? Because I didn't know.
my first post was something like it wasn't Katie's in labor, but something like Katie's about to give birth, and that's all I said. And somebody congratulated me. They came on and put a comment and they congratulated me. I'm like, no. But okay.
Yeah, so okay. So I've got some more of the best of Wally. So from MeTV. So we're going to play another clip of that. So one moment, please.
And action. She
Wait for her to freeze up so we can.
She hit the button.
She did. She's frozen.
Records and eat junk.
Well, did Mary Ellen invite you?
Of course not. We wouldn't go over there if she invited us.
How come you didn't walk home with Eddie today?
He's sore at me.
What for?
I don't know. I guess because maybe I got a good mark on the history test.
That's a dumb reason to get mad at somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, but Eddie's kind of a dumb guy.
And how come he's your best friend?
I don't know. I guess because maybe once in the 3rd grade I beat him up.
Be sure it's in neutral.
I'm looking for it, Dad.
Well, find a place where it wobbles back and forth.
Gee, Dad, wherever you put it, it wobbles back and forth.
I just saw an episode where he had to take a test with Lumpy and Eddie Haskell, but they had planned, and of course, they had planned to put the answers on the paper towel roll in the boys' room. So they accidentally spilled ink on their hands, all 3 of them at different times, so they can ask the teacher if they can be excused to go and wash their hands because it's now all inky, and what's his name? Tony Dow's character. What's wrong with me? Wally. Man. Oh, man. Stop doing drugs. Wally, obviously, at the end, went back and the teacher had found it because he's been through this. He knew the tricks. Wally wasn't up to it, and the teacher went in and took it off the roll and whatever. And they thought Wally did, but because Wally got a great score on his test, and they thought Wally did it and took it out. So I just saw that episode. That was a pretty good one.
Was that the one where the paper towel roll was like all one roll and you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know because you never see it. All you know is it was there. Yeah. Yes, and they had to make an excuse to go to the bathroom to get it, but that's where they said they did. I never cheated in school. I never cheated on tests. I'm sorry. Never. I'm serious because I know what my mother would do to me if I did. So I avoided that courage.
I did a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't look on anybody's paper, and I didn't write anything on my palms or up my arm. I never cheated on tests.
No. I used technology. I cheated on my Calc 2 midterm.
What's technology?
I had a calculator that it was programmable, so I programmed lines of code that were actually the formulas that I needed.
You cheater!
I did. I cheated.
That's why you were put back in the 3rd grade. Yeah.
Let me tell you I'm going to tell you my cheat story. Okay, this is the one that sticks with me. Okay. Chemistry, 11th grade. I don't know anything about this test. The teacher, I can't understand anything that he's told me. It's all Greek. And so I'm like looking at this girl's test next to me, who's a friend of mine, and I'm like trying to steal her answers. He calls her out for cheating. and she gets in trouble. At the end of the class, I went up there and told him, I'm like, she wasn't the one, Mr. Rodriguez. It was me. And he's like, oh, you're just trying to protect your friend. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So even though I tried to fess up, I ended up getting a D in the class anyway. So.
Hey, look, I'm telling you, that's karma, baby. If you're not getting yourself in trouble, it's coming back on somebody else close to you.
I still feel bad about it after all these years, to be honest with you. I really.
See, Lorraine is with me. Lorraine never cheated on tests either. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I can't do it. So sorry. And I'm also a horrible liar.
It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling trying.
And I'm also a horrible liar. That's why I never lie, because I always get caught. I'm not a good liar. I can't keep a straight face. Nobody ever believes me, if I lie. So I don't lie. Yeah, you're a good looking dude, Jerome. Anyway, so I never lie.
So in 1983, right around the time that they did the commercial for cornflakes, a movie came out on CBS. They decided, it would be great to do a reunion movie for Leave It to Beaver. And that movie was Still the Beaver.
The Beaver. Yep, I saw that.
And I don't have a clip from that because everything I found on the internet was not good quality. Oh my gosh, is that Corey Feldman?
Yes.
It is.
It sure is. How'd you recognize that? You're right.
I didn't even notice that when I grabbed that.
Actually, I thought it was a girl.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Feldman.
Anybody know who the other kid is?
I have no idea, but I can look it up.
I don't recognize the other kid.
Wow. So who had the children? One each?
I think. Well, I know on the when it became a TV show, they changed all that. But and I don't remember. I don't think Corey Feldman was in the show. He was too busy doing Lost Boys. But yeah, there's Still the Beaver, and I don't remember seeing this movie when it came out. Did either of you?
Same here.
I did. I saw it.
But they got like most of the main cast. Oh, there
They
it
do.
there it is.
Oh, it is Corey Feldman.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that when I pulled that.
Corey Feldman,
that is Corey Feldman. Yeah. And Eddie
and
was
Ken
Eddie.
Osmond. Whenever they always ask Ken Osmond to come back. But
Hey.
Wally ends up marrying his high school sweetheart Mary Ellen, and that's also goes on to the series too.
Yeah.
You remember that big, thick girl that always picked on Beef?
Yes.
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh man, she could kick my butt if I was in the same class as you. Wow, I was scared of her just watching her on the screen.
So what happened was it ended up becoming a television series in 1984.
Yep.
And it was on the Disney Channel from 1984 to 1985, and they called it was called Still the Beaver, and then it became later on, after I think it left the Disney Channel, the new Leave It to Beaver.
Yep.
And the new Leave It to Beaver was on TBS from 1986 through 1989.
Yeah. Wow.
And when it became on TBS, a sister company decided to have them on their show to help promote the new Leave It to Beaver on TBS. So I'm going to share this because I thought this was wild, and I just got such a kick out of it.
Is she frozen?
I think
MTV presents from the new Leave It to Beaver, Tony Dow, Barbara Billingsley.
Oh God, what an ugly outfit!
I was thinking the same thing.
The Beaver.
That's really dark.
It is.
No stairs are illegal.
Tony Dow, Wally Cleaver from the new Leave It to Beaver show. And this is Jerry Mathers, who plays my younger brother, Theodore.
Hey, Tony, how come you're being so formal?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think everybody still thinks of us as little kids and saying dumb stuff like golly Wally and gee Beav. I mean, we're grown up now. We have kids of our own.
Truer words were never spoken, but this is MTV. Loosen up. We're here to party.
Well, I guess you're right, Jerry. Well, I'm ready to rock.
Me too. As your MTV guest VJs tonight, we'll be playing some of your favorite videos, including Daryl Hall, Billy Joe, and Alice Cooper.
And we're going to start things off right now with another bunch of guys who had their own TV hit show back in the 60s, and now they're back and on the charts. Here's the Monkees with a song that we can certainly relate to. That was then, and this is now. Hi, we're the Cleavers, and we're your guest VJs on MTV tonight.
Hi, boys.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Am I interrupting anything?
Of course not. Come on, sit down.
Thank you.
You all
She
remember
gonna speak
our mom,
jive?
June Cleaver, better known as Barbara Billingsley.
You know, a lot of people have been wondering what we'd be like as grown-ups. Well, in the new show on WTBS, we answer all those questions. I'm a businessman, and June is a city councilwoman.
Yeah, but she still makes the best cookies in town.
Oh, Wally, you haven't done too badly as a lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God that's over. Oh, God, that hurt. That hurt.
Oh,
man.
God.
This guy there's a channel that's devoted to Tony Dow on YouTube, and that's where I got a lot of these clips. He has a lot of the Leave It to Beaver stuff, and
Yeah.
and some of it's watchable, and some of it isn't. He's got the guest starring roles. I wanted to show some of the guest starring roles that Tony Dow was in other shows. He was in Emergency. He was in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But it was the quality just wasn't that great. So
Yeah. Wow. I'm glad I missed that one.
We
and
dodged
it's
the
hard
bullet.
to find Leave It to Beaver. You would think because it's such an old show, you'd be able to find it on YouTube, but because I guess it's still airing all these places, that it's just not very findable. You can just find clips, and that's about it.
So this is the new Leave It to Beaver, correct?
Yep, the new Leave It to Beaver, and I actually have a couple of clips from the show when it was on TBS. I couldn't really find anything from the Disney era, which is fine. It's just fine. But so I wanted to play. I found two that I thought were really interesting, and the first one is called "The Birth Announcement" from 1986. In that episode, Mary Ellen has a baby, I think, and you get to see Wally. And I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to play it. I thought it was really sweet. I thought this was a really sweet video.
Oh, and we're frozen again.
Ah,
yeah, but you don't stop soon enough. You run right into the
video. Sorry, I have no. Oh, damn it, she's back.
Here they come with a rump-dee-tum. They're having a toy parade. A tin giraffe with a fife and drum is leading a Cupid parade. A king cat with a soldier's hat is waving a Chinese fan.
What are they doing?
A plastic clown with a wedding gown is dancing with Raggedy Ann.
Oh, what? He's in jail? Oh no,
that's just his window shades.
I didn't know there were words to that song. I know there's words.
I did not know either until I found this clip.
Well, I know there are words to the Andy Griffin Show.
Oh my Lord!
So I didn't know there were words.
It's called "The Toy Parade" is the name of the theme song.
That wasn't that bad, Jerome. That was okay. When he had to do so. That was the new Leave It to Beaver. Or was that one?
That was one of the episodes, and then I had another one that I found that I really thought was interesting.
Hey,
I guess they try to be a little bit edgy. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Rose.
Yeah.
Time check here. How many more clips do you have?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.
That's perfect. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I guess like towards the end of the series, they started trying to get a little bit edgy because around that time I think that you were having the Bradys and they were trying to be a little bit darker, and so they did this episode where Wally nearly dies in a car crash.
Yes,
and he's in a coma.
Wow. Okay.
And so what they did was kind of an interesting thing throughout the episode. They have, I guess they were kind of doing an experimental because this was, they were trying to do new things. So what they did was they would take like old episodes and put you know what? I'm just going to show you.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really kind of cool. And so one moment.
And we're frozen.
Oh man, let's see if we can suffer through the next one she has.
This is like sad. I mean, I feel like my blood sugar.
Did you contribute anything to the conversation?
Oh boy.
Well, I'm sorry, Dad. I guess I'm just not myself today. Well, I am, but I might not be for long. Now, I know what you're all going to say, that this never would have happened if I hadn't listened to Eddie Haskell. Well, it did happen, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. It's funny the things you remember. Now, don't start worrying about old Wally. I always come through, right? Remember the Springfield game? I'm going to make it. I'm going to live. Aren't I?
Wow.
Yeah.
They inserted him into his own flashback show. That's pretty cool. I like that.
And it all focuses around this basketball game that he did in where I guess he got injured, And so it's like back and forth. It was a really neat kind of episode. I watched most of it. So
oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, so nobody ever talks about this show, but it was on for quite a while. I mean,
you said
1983 all the way to 1989.
Oh, that show, the new Leave It to Beaver.
The new Leave It to Beaver.
Wow, I didn't know it was on for that long. Good gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long show. And what's especially amusing is some of the things that happened to Tony Dow while this show was gone.
Oh, please enlighten me.
Well, he was a director. He directed a lot of television episodes.
Yeah.
So not only was he doing this show, but he was starting his directing career. And he later became, this is the one that surprised me, he became the visual effects supervisor on Babylon 5.
Yes.
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
He and Billy Mooney are very, very good friends.
Yeah. Or were.
Yeah, were. Exactly. Yeah.
He also directed a number of shows, Babylon 5, Deep Space Nine, a whole mess of other really good shows.
Yeah.
I never knew he was a director.
Yeah, I remember him being a very successful director later on. Yep.
And it's good to see because child actors it's a hard transition from the child actor to adult work.
Sure.
And you've heard some of the horror stories, especially the Different Strokes kids. But it's good to see that the Leave It to Beaver kids, did a decent transition to adulthood. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And so what I wanted to show you was we actually have a clip from the Today Show a few years back when they celebrated the 60th anniversary.
Wow. What are they up to now?
That would have been 2017, the 60th anniversary of Leave It to Beaver.
Okay.
And they were actually going to go do a signing show in New York that weekend. And so I guess that's one of the reasons why they were on. But I'll go ahead and play that for you.
Okay.
Yep, frozen again.
When we said 60 years, we were all like,
she's
wait
back.
a minute, because we were all humming the theme song. We were all, does it seem
Whistling.
like 60 years since then?
No, but it's the longest running show in television history. It hasn't been off the air in 60 years. So
because you can catch it anywhere now, right?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, who would have thunk it?
That's absolutely true.
Now, of course, you have no way of knowing that. How old were you when you first started doing it?
I was about 7. Actually, I did the pilot, I think, when I was just 6, but it took a while to be able to sell it.
And you have no idea it's going to be this massive worldwide hit at the time.
Absolutely not.
Of course
In fact,
not.
every season we would think that we might not come back. We did it for 6, which is 234. But every season it was, well, we may not be back. We'd all say goodbye.
Isn't that crazy, though? Because when you think about it, it went from one network to the next. It took a while for it to get some traction, right?
The Variety reporter said, if this show lasts over 2 weeks, I'll eat my hat.
What? I hope he had to.
Well, we sent him a hat. So.
You did?
Yeah,
Not sure if he ate it, right? Now, were you all friends right away when you started?
I mean, Tony was a great athlete. I mean, he would have been, I'm the oldest of my family, so I never had a big brother, but he was an AAU swimming and diving champion.
And he was a great actor from the time he was 6 years old.
You started then.
So
you needed each other in a weird way,
Yeah, he showed me how to do it.
And what was it?
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
did. That clip goes on for like 9 minutes, but you can't see it. I didn't realize you wouldn't be able to see it. But what I did with this show was, except for the MeTV stuff, I put the actual YouTube clip homepage on.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
We can see it. We saw it in every clip.
Oh, okay. When I'm playing it, it's blocked off. So maybe it isn't when you guys are watching.
No, it pops up and then it drops. It disappears after that.
Yeah, I only let it play for a few seconds and then it drops down. But so that's amazing. I think so. So that was 2017, 18, 19, 20. So this would have been the 65th anniversary.
Yes.
Of Leave It to Beaver this year then. And that's just amazing.
And we're still watching.
So what the cool thing about it is, Tony Dow had this long running career. Everybody knew him as Wally, but some good things happened to him along the way. I didn't know about his directing career. That's incredible. But I have a cool clip where he gets to see a car that he bought back when he worked on the show. So I'm gonna share this. This is not from the show, but something he had personal. So
right.
I'm gonna show this.
What, he didn't get a free Ford in
Yeah,
1960?
she's frozen. She's frozen again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, leave it to Beaver.
I think he should have gotten a free Ford when they did that commercial.
Should have.
Years.
Anyone he wanted,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, it's gorgeous.
Tony Dow from Leave It To Beaver, who played Wally Cleaver, says he drove this 1962 Chevy Corvair to the set.
This is my first car that I ever had in my life. I was 16.
It's not the junker he bought on the show for $25.
$25 car was a better deal for a car. This one is a better deal for me now.
Dow sold the car in 1965 to a guy named Al Dadisman. He restored it from the ground up in the late 80s, put a sign on the windshield for every car show, proud to say it was Wally Cleaver's.
I mean, look at that thing. It's beautiful.
Al passed in December, and his friend Marty Tryon in Alpine, the executor who spent nights drinking beer in the garage in the car, talking about what to do if he ever gave up the classic car.
We were joking. He says, wouldn't it be cool to get in touch with Tony Dow and see if he wants his first car back?
So a few weeks ago, Marty came up with a swell idea. Tracked down Tony Dow, emailed him in L.A.
Gee whiz, Marty.
Gee whiz.
I can't believe you got hold of it.
Oh, gosh, Wally.
As Tony settles into his old wheels.
I can't wait to hear it run and get it started.
Down memory lane.
I'll go to Bob's Big Boy and see if I can pick up any girls. Like and I'm not going to do that.
I don't know. I don't know if you noticed they, when they took the long shot of him in there, they have a block underneath the front wheel to prevent it from rolling back.
Man, this guy, he went too soon. He went really before his time. I don't think he was ready to go. He wasn't in ill health. Well, obviously something killed him, but
He had cancer.
Liver
physical
cancer.
appearance. Yeah, physical appearance. He didn't look like he was suffering from it at all. But it's too bad that we're losing so many of our idols.
Yeah.
All right, what you got?
I just thought it was so sweet that they gave him back the car.
Yeah, I agree.
And
right.
when I was noticing the steering wheel, I was like, "Wow, that kind of looks like the Mach 5 with all the little
yeah.
with the bolts." Yeah.
Yeah. All righty, so you down to your last one, right?
Yeah, I am down to my last clip, and this was probably one of his final interviews for broadcast television. It was a CBS Sunday Morning on January 18th of 2022. So we're just talking a mere 7-8 months ago.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw that interview because I never missed it.
You never miss a Sunday morning.
I never miss a Sunday morning. Yeah, I don't care where I am.
But I thought it would be great to end off the show this way because I thought this episode, this was like a really insightful episode. So I'm gonna play some clips from that. So one moment.
Okay, she's gonna freeze up in a minute, guys. Look how young they are in this. Good grief, man.
They're ridiculously young.
Babies. Okay, she should be coming back now.
The second piece I ever did.
Maybe not. Oh.
And this is called Alter Ego.
In the studio where he spent the last 20 years sculpting meditations on our humanity.
What is the emotion or feeling you're getting at here?
It's going to represent hope.
This artist is carving a gnarled piece of burlwood into a dramatic figure that'll then be cast in bronze.
You didn't think Wally was going to define you?
No, I didn't, but it did.
Yes, sir.
I was going to have to live with it for the rest of my life. I thought, this isn't fair. I mean, I'd like to do some other stuff. I'd like to do some interesting stuff. It's sad to be famous at 12 years old or something. And then you grow up and become a real person, and nothing's happening for you.
The sadness turned to anger, setting Tony Dow up for a struggle that would mark the rest of his life.
Anger, if it's untreated, anger turns to depression. But depression isn't something you can say cheer up about. It's a very powerful thing. and it's had a lot of effect on my life.
Lauren Dow is Tony's wife of 41 years.
What's it like to listen to Tony talk about the depression?
Well, I'm very proud of him for talking about it, for dealing with it, and for sharing it with others.
She's helped him balance the curse of being linked forever to Wally by helping him see clearly the blessings.
What did you fall in love with?
His sweetness, softness, vulnerability.
I hate to do this, it's so trite and cliche, but...
Spit it out.
Sounds like Wally. Is there any Wally in him?
I think there's a lot of Tony in the character. They're intertwined. Wally was very much like Tony.
Ah, that's a perfect ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was great.
His wife is so sweet, you know.
Yeah,
So
she really. Yeah, she really seems like it.
So that is my Tony Dow Leave It to Beaver show. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I just wanted to pay tribute to him. You know, the next Classic Television Smackdown I had. So.
Yeah, and this was supposed to be mine, but I'm glad Rose.
This was actually mine. Tomorrow was your day.
Oh, I see. And tomorrow we're not ending this yet, of course, ladies and gentlemen. But tomorrow we're. What?
I just
okay?
had a shot. Yeah, I just looked at the book he's reading.
Oh yeah, Across the Space Frontier.
Yeah, I own that book.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right.
That's why I went, ooh.
I love that photo of his. It just captures his eyes. He's such a beautiful.
Yeah, he's a good-looking kid, and he actually grew to remain good-looking.
Oh yeah, he really kept it together.
Coming from a man, you know, and even this young picture of them, and again, that's really old. Look at him. Look how old. He got that button nose, just about.
Yeah.
And of course, this photo here of
Jerry Mathers.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So I brought Jerry Mathers to a convention in Atlantic City one year. We had a bunch of old classic stars. We had Mary Ann, we had Gilligan, we had the Lone Ranger, Jerry Mathers. I thought we had one other, but that was probably all I could think of. And to be honest with you, I really don't remember much of saying much to him at all. But it's a long time ago. I think it was 87, I think, when I did that con, something like that. Never met Tony Dow. Wish I had. Would have loved to have a conversation with that man. But Rose, you did a great job as always. This was fantastic.
Thank you so much. You know what? If I realized it was going to run slow, I cut a lot. I mean, I had so many clips, and I was just like, "Oh, it's running too long. I've got like 13 clips." You know?
Yeah, no, it went by really quickly, and it's still 7 minutes left in the show, but nonetheless, at least it's not half hour left of the show. You know, so you did good in it. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday Morning Cartoons is back. It returns along with Classic Television Smackdown. Before I go to that, Rose, do you have a show tomorrow night?
No, we're not doing a show tomorrow night.
Okay.
We thought Rachel was supposed to be out with friends, so we decided to move Rose's Instant Reactions to next Saturday night.
That's fine. Yeah, as long as we know when you're coming back.
Yeah, we're going to be. Yeah, and I posted it on our page that we're going to be back on the 17th.
Okay,
and
speaking
a show on Josh Whedon's Dollhouse. So
okay. All right. And tomorrow, Rachel will be co-hosting with us. She's going to be
Rachel.
Rachel is co-hosting tomorrow. What is the name of the show that Rachel's doing?
The show is
Cartoons versus
their TV broadcasting overlords.
Broadcast overlords. Yeah, Cartoons versus broadcast overlords. Yeah.
I want to know one important fact here before we even do the show. How are you dragging her out of bed?
Listen, she did me a solid, okay? I knew Mark was going to be wiped out from Dragon Con, being out of town. So I had sent him a message saying, hey, I'll do you want me to do a show for you? Rachel knows that I am also at my wit's end. I was working on this Tony Dow show, and I've got a work situation, and she knows I'm just drained. Yeah. So she said, hey, I've got this idea. And so she started throwing this idea at me, and I'm like, yeah, why don't you find some more clips and make a show of it? And then I thought of a show that she didn't think about. She's like, oh yeah, I love that show. I'll put that in too. So Rachel's come up with 8 clips for tomorrow, basically about show cartoons that had to one way or another them and the networks butted heads during the show's creation. Yes, cartoon. That was actually I came up with the title. Cartoon for Broadcast Overlords, and Rachel loved it. So that's what we went with.
Yeah, but still, I'm still trying to figure out how you're going to get her out of bed. That's the problem.
Because it's her show and her idea, I think she'll be able to pop up.
So you're gonna
her hair might be like this, woo!
So first off, it's gonna be Coronation Day, like in Frozen, and then you're gonna do an IV drip of caffeine right into her.
Yeah, well, she's not a big coffee drinker, so I'll just have to. Shove an Eggo in her face and say,
well, I'm gonna tell you that coffee was in fact an emergency drug for me over the past weekend. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and have Rachel as co-host tomorrow for that show. Make sure you guys get up early and watch Rachel. Watch all of us. I'll be asleep. That'll be.
You're gonna enjoy some of this. She found some really interesting stuff. So
I enjoy everything and anything that Rachel does. So that's going to be great. One thing I experienced at Dragon Con each and every year, because we are all fans. Each and every year, the Georgia Philharmonic Symphony comes and plays at Dragon Con, and they did another cool list of theatrical movie soundtracks, songs, or whatever. And it was fantastic. The one that really struck me the most was they did Avatar, but Avatar, if you listen to any of the music, has a chorus in one of the main songs in it, and the Georgia Philharmonic brought a chorus. A lot of ladies, open books, singing background music. It was just freaky. It was unbelievable. That's one of my big events that I always go to see. 7:30 on Saturday nights. Philharmonic is there, but the night before that, they brought in a big band. Literally a big band, and they did ballroom dancing in one of the main rooms, and they they had a teacher up there that gave you instructions. So that was pretty cool. But I'm looking forward to Rachel's appearance once again tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. We'll time her. I'm sure she'll show up at probably 8:58 is going to be my guess.
Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 9 a.m. show tomorrow morning. Rachel will be there at 8:58. I'm willing to lay money on.
She'll run right in and plop down.
She will, and you're right. Her hair is going to be all messed up like a beehive or whatever.
Screenshots. You got to have screenshots of that hair for blackmail purposes later.
I may actually have to make coffee tomorrow just to get used to what I'm going to see from Rachel first thing in the morning. It is close to Halloween, so she'll be. Oh, speaking of, we will be doing a Halloween show. Closer to Halloween, as you all know, but we're getting close to that next month. Oh, there's the cat again. That is the cat, right? Yep. Meow, meow.
Probably
meow,
so.
Meow.
One of several. But yes.
Well, you did a good job. We had a good. We lost some people. Speaking of, between Michelle Nichols and the Queen, it's like, man. Dropping like flies.
It's been a roller coaster of just
this year.
Listen. I can tell you right now, the reason they're all dropping.
Does the world ending?
Well, no, we lost Betty.
Yeah, Betty started it. Yeah,
Betty started the dominoes.
Yeah, she did. She came up short of a century, and everybody said, "Oh, that's unfair." Well, I'm going to.
I'm done. I'm done with the world.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. So
we lost Betty, and everything started from there.
Yeah.
Come on, we lost the Queen yesterday.
We lost the Queen. Yes, and we're not talking about Freddie Mercury, but we did lose the Queen, the real Queen. Okay. So nonetheless, hey guys, thank you for joining us. Rose, you're gonna go ahead and click that button for us to get out of here, whatever our outro was, or it was however we picked it up.
We have, you know what? We'll just do the outro that you usually do. So let me.
Yeah. Actually, I can press that myself. But nonetheless, hey, I'm going to do what Rose is doing. Yeah, see you in the morning. Live long and eat steak. That's what I'm doing right now. All right, bye, crew. See you in the morning. Bye, everyone.
Out of the blue of the western sky comes Sky King. As we say here in the West.